Welcome back to the story of Clovis Ravenor. That die over here, Grimith. -4. 9. You develop a system for feeding. What is it? What happens to those who die? Create a skill that reflects this. Okay. Let's copy that prompt. First time we've gone backwards. Also, I apparently chose to add a quotation mark, as if I was going to be doing that for all of these. No. Alright, you develop a system for feeding. What is it? What happens to those who die? Create a skill that reflects this. Okay. Generation, perhaps 2, is passed by this point. War of Roses has ended. Henry VII of England is currently in rule. That long, stable rule. Clovis remains roughly the same location. Probably around Bedfordshire. He's still got his skills. He's got his servitors now who are doing his bidding. For this vampire, of course, finds it difficult to operate in modern... I say modern society, right? When like 40, 50 years have passed. He probably still does work as a physician and apothecary. So the system he probably has for feeding on the weak could pertain to that. The weak and infirm that he judges to be incapable of saving. He noms on, I reckon. People who come for treatment in some fashion or another can be evaluated using his So, I know I'm just trailing off here. I'd want a skill that, it makes, it turns humans, it turns people into, like, a good, something they're providing instead of just, being human beings here. Like, creating, like, a actual, like, systematic form of feeding. So, why don't we do this? Because we're adding a new skill. Callous evaluation of life expectancy. Perhaps callous evaluator of life? You develop a system for feeding. What is it? What happens to those who die? Create a skill that reflects this. Yeah, okay. That works for that. memories. I should probably move these two around, as this came afterward. However, it's not something I can easily move. Hold on, maybe I can. Huh? No. I just moves it over that, and then I was just moving it over the diary instead. And this would just end up moving the row. We've seen that work. I guess I can just resort the number. That's fine. No big deal. Because this was 4th, and then this was 5th. I've got to add this new experience to note, like, this feeding system. And I'm not seeing a synergy here with any of my, like, ongoing, like, memories. Am I interested in moving anything into the diary at this time? So memory 2 is complete. I can choose to slot it into the diary at this point, which would create the diary resource, and like any other resource, it can be lost. I will create a diary, however, I'm not going to move memory 2. That seems pretty potent and important for the character. What I'm going to do is move entry 3. A rejuvenated Lord Grey thanks me for my expert treatment of an old wound, suffered an Aquitaine, and invites me into his service. It doesn't seem relevant anymore to Clovis's ongoing plots. And so we'll just shuffle that down. That's just going to be a memory comprising of one experience that can't be edited. I think he just forgets. Yeah. I think he just fucking forgets. We don't have to do the color. We can just do the text. Yeah. It's just not important anymore. Yeah. Clovis Ravenor. He's been here. Now we'll just go ahead and shuffle these up by one. Because these orders might matter, and it's important to track that. And for the new memory, for the experience, something like, I harshly evaluate every patient. I harshly evaluate. I cull the weak. Infirm. I cull the failures from my patients. And drink what little remains of their life. Alright, that's pretty fucked up. I cull the failures from my patients and drink what little remains of their lives. Sure, that's single evocative. I could find a way to word that better, but let's just slap that down now. There's room where I could slide that into memory 1. But I'm gonna say no to that. Yeah. Am I okay with forgetting that? I also, should note that I did do a little bit of word restructuring for the memories. I'm allowed to do that. They're not in the diaries, you know? To change tenses, in case you're noticing any discrepancies there. Yeah. We forget that Lord Grey thanked us for our expert treatment of an old wound suffered in Aquitaine and invited us into his service. Just, it's irrelevant now. Who fucking cares anymore? We've gotten to the point now in age where we really haven't been looking like we've been aging, and it would be awkward for us to remain in service of the Earl of Kent, right? Just generation or two has passed. We've got minions to do our bidding, but we, you know, are still a member of the community with some renown. Although perhaps less so now that life expectancies are dropping a bit harder now. For those who come to see me, perhaps some bad rumors are spreading. Clovis is losing connection with humanity. Acha! 2 minus 3. That's another -1. Okay. That takes us to... well, it's just another minus, not another -1. Which does take us to a prompt we have seen before. 8. Okay. Go back to the character sheet. Let's log this in. 8. You gain an advantage over an immortal character. What do you take from them? What do you learn? Convert a memory to a skill. Strike out that memory. Gain a mysterious resource. So, we know 2 immortal characters. Our sire. And the thing that should not be. We gain an advantage over one of them. And we take something from them. We learn. We take and we learn. Is it from our sire? Or is it from the thing that should not be? What memory do we convert to a skill? What memory do we strike out? There's some humor here if I strike out... if I gain an advantage over the amalgam of science and magic, and end up striking out the very memory that ties me to that immortal being. Sort of like a non-Euclidean, like non-linear thinking. 5D thoughts, tesseract thoughts, sort of angle. The other memory I would cull would be my new one, where I cull the failures from my patients and drink what little remains of their lives. Just instantly forget that. I'm also doing the quotation marks thing again. Listen, Grimith, remain consistent, please. Okay. I don't think this is gonna tie into Samara. I don't really see it. I don't have anything that's popping to mind quickly for what I would take from Samara. As far as I'm concerned, she's not even in the region right now. She's fucking fucked off. Moved on with her life. Which brings us to this thing that should not be, the scientific monstrosity which wanted my aid. So let's say that Clovis has been spending his time pondering this amorphous entity, puzzling its inner workings and mechanics, using the forbidden lore that was taught to him by it, combined with his other understandings, and just time. Just loads of time. The advantage that Clovis gains over it is perhaps the power to unmake it. Clovis discovers a means through which he can unravel the sorcery which animates it. And he uses that to blackmail the immortal creature, which is going to remove the okayish terms that Clovis had with the thing that should not be. So we convert a memory now into a skill. So there is a bargain now where the thing that should not be uh, offers us this mysterious resource in exchange for Clovis letting the blackmail go, like expending the advantage. But in the process of expending the advantage, as part of the deal, we end up forgetting about the thing that should not be. Sort of a something we don't understand when we're making the deal with the thing that should not be. Because we're kind of meddling in affairs we can't understand because the logic defies reason. And we're just, we're dilettantes here. We're apprentices. Whereas the thing that should not be is a grand master in this sort of thing. That kind of sounds like Clovis isn't really taking a W here. That's okay. Let's take this memory, and it just says strike it out. So I will actually strike it out. Also put some word wrap on this category. We should do that. Word wrap. Thank you. Said word wrap. Word. Oh. I see what I did there. That's fine. I can fiddle with that later. Alright. So we're going to create a memory based off this skill. And I think the memory we're going to convert into this skill is, especially of this thing that should not be, teaches me what I should never know in exchange. Either that or intimate understanding of immortal physiology. Just blanket like all immortals? That almost sounds like a forbidden lore thing. Intimate understanding of immortal physiology. Because the key is that I need to convert a memory to a skill. So it needs to spin off of the memory I'm forgetting. Which is actually the thing that should not be. I provide what succor I can. The other thing would be like immortal dealer, like wheeler and dealer. Some sort of like immortal etiquette. Like a specialization in handling immortals. Immortal handler? Immortal negotiator? Mortal physiologist? Sure, let's truncate that. Let's make that more concise. Immortal physiologist. Yeah, I got that. That's the skill we gain. In exchange for forgetting about the thing that should not be. And the mysterious resource we get is... What's mysterious? What could this scientific monstrosity amalgamate of magic and science grant? Some sort of like non-Euclidean thing. A scroll of ineffable dreams. No, think more like magic and science thing. A concoction of ineffability. Concoction of ineffability. What the fuck does that mean? What will it do? How would I expend this resource to resolve a situation? I need to define that. Do I need to define that? I should probably define that. No. No, I'm not going to define that. Fuck it. It's a concoction of ineffability. It's one of them. What the fuck does it mean? What does it do? It's a mysterious resource. That's what I was told to make. Let's not make something dumb like a scroll. You fucking drink that shit and it distorts your... Who even knows? Turns you two-dimensional. There we go. So, back to memories here. I guess I'm shuffling this up now. I need to make an experience out of this, though. Well, shit, that's true. Well, an experience I would make would tie into what I just removed. That's fucking awkward. I would just end up making, like, a new separate memory experience that's completely unrelated to anything. Instead of just, like, uniting that together with a past thing. But I don't feel compelled to, like, forget any other memories except for the new number 4 here. You know what? Maybe that doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, okay. Sure. I take it back. Let's put this back. Don't do that, Grimith. Don't commit crimes, please. Take this, erase that. Take this, put that there. There. I call the failures from my patients and drink what little remains of their lives. So now we get a skill related to this memory of... We'll call this skill... Efficient Slaker. We'll say that Clovis knows how to drink his fill really well. And he can look at someone and make a judgment call now based off of that. Like, he knows, like, that's that kind of nourishment. That's that kind of nutrition. Which really slides into his callous evaluator of life thing. This is just sort of like a thing of, like, how to expend people. This is a how much is the person worth that I'm going to be expending, I guess. I spent a long time on this. I think I'm gonna go with that. The resource, that can remain the same, concoction of ineffability. Now for our experience, I later blackmailed the amalgam. Threatened to expose, discovered how to unravel the amalgam, and threatened it for profit. In exchange for and demanded I later discovered my brain's sluggish right now, and blackmailed it for to ensure my silence. Okay. Alright. That one took me a while. Just feeling sluggish right now, I guess. This memory's been struck through. Who even fucking cares? It's just an integral part of what Clovis does. Can't even remember when he started just becoming a callous evaluator of life. It just happens as readily as he wakes up and operates. And now he is efficient at this whole blood-consuming process. And he's got a great process going. Woo! 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay. You not only drink their blood, but financially profit from your victims as well. How do you arrange this? What atrocity do you commit to protect this system? Check a skill. Create a resource. Oh, this is fucked up. Clovis has already forgotten that it's just something that he does now, and doesn't remember when it started happening. It just started happening, and now it just keeps happening. And he's now found a way to profit from this. You not only drink their blood, but financially profit from your victims as well. How do you arrange this? What atrocity do you commit to protect the system? Check a skill, create a resource. Okay. So, Clovis devours the bodies of... devours the blood of patients he deems incapable of, like, not worth, like, the investment in trying to help save. Really took a dark fucking turn. And he sells their bodies to institutions and, like, collectors and people who are interested in dissecting, like, bodies for research or other purposes. As for the atrocity he commits to protect the system, the atrocity would be deceiving the loved ones of these people that he's supposedly saving, but is instead condemning. that their bodies are being whisked away, that they cannot be seen again by their loved ones due to like some sickness or other ailment, or he manages to find like a stand-in like body double, or here's like a casket, like the person's already in it, it's got to be closed, they've been mangled, it's horrified, uh it's already rotted away, them to even like get near it, to behold it without proper protections like I have, would be to condemn yourself in the eyes of the Lord. We will check this skill. To do that, I will just italicize it, or bold it. We'll bold it, I can see that better. Italicizing it works. Maybe I can just put like some jargon in? No, italicizing it's fine. That's the skill we check. You can trust Clovis. He'll put you at ease. Don't worry about it. Your loved ones are in good hands. I'll take care of all of the arrangements. I'll make sure their bodies are given the proper rest they should have, so their spirits can be eased into the afterlife. Don't fucking worry about it. And in exchange for that, the resource he should get is wealth. What kind of currency you think they're fucking using here? We'll say several bags of gold. We'll just call it that. That's better than me spending some time, like, trying to parse out, like... Obviously, I'm not getting paid in halfpennies here. We'll just say several bags of gold, and leave it at that. We sold the bodies of these people. And that's pretty fucking bad. Memory. This is new. I begin selling the cadavers of my patients to like research groups, clubs, to institutions, clubs, and other interested parties. I am paid in gold for my efforts. Alright. That's pretty fucked up. What the fuck am I doing here? At least this one went quicker. Got time for one more. Maybe even another one after that. Depends on how fucking long this takes. That is a 2 minus 6. Okay. We're at 9, right? Yeah, we go back to 5. We haven't been to 5. 5 is new. Let's see 5. You murder someone you love or respect rather than let them expose you. Kill a character. Check a skill. If you have no living characters, kill no one, and create a beloved mortal character who you have betrayed. Alright. Well then. Well fucking then. So I've got 3 characters currently on the board. The thing that should not be is not someone I love or respect. Well, I fucking blackmailed him. It's probably not a love or respect. I might still respect them, and they may very well have cause to expose me. Samara is probably the one I should pick. Can I justify it being old Willie? Alright, so let's think this through. Why would Samara expose us? Perhaps Samara would expose us because when Samara turned us, Clovis was doing good things, acting out of kindness. Like, you showed up at my doorstep, you had no coin to pay me. You were in terrible condition, yet I welcomed you into my home, and I sought to treat your maladies. I was curious about them, sure, but also, like, there was goodness there. And, Samara could very well have turned Clovis because of that. So there's that angle. Nothing I recall in the instruction manual says that, like, immortal characters just can't die from old age. But if a prompt tells you to fucking kill a character, then you kill a character. As for William, he is going to be on the later years of his life. And I can also see how he would be the one who would betray Clovis. Now it's just a matter of whether Clovis loves or respects him. What did I write? Years later, the elderly father calls upon me and asks me to help William learn my craft. Old Willie becomes an inseparable part of my new lifestyle, and his progeny are bound to me by my ritual of blood. Inseparable part. Fuck my life. So, Willie's dying soon anyway. Killing him is going to end up making a new memory. I'm also going to be checking a skill from this regardless. Samara's memory is not full. It's got 2 experiences in the memory. I think it's Samara. Let me double check the instructions real quick in Immortal section. Like in the characters section here. A character can be mortal or immortal. You'll be told which type when you are instructed to create a new character. Mortals are regular human beings or other creatures that die at the passage of time. Immortals, on the other hand, are supernatural beings for whom time has little meaning. Outside of this, it talks about occasionally you'll realize that a mortal must have died of old age. This might happen every 4 or 5 prompts. When it does, strike out the character's name. And I would say old Willie's gonna die after this prompt anyway. Outside of this, characters cannot be killed unless a prompt tells you to do so, but you can otherwise narrate about them as you would like. Yeah, okay. Samara's dying. Our sire. This is certainly someone, um, Clovis doesn't love, but definitely respects. Um, Clovis was surprised by this whole vampirism thing, but he hasn't been upset about it. It's been a great curiosity. It's been something to explore. And as these decades have gone on, it's gained him, like, time and power in different kinds of ways. And he's profited from it greatly. Although he's lost resources, to be sure. You know, his essential herbs and spices and his court finery. He's definitely profited from this. So what is it that I'm checking to kill Clovis's sire? It's not trained physician. Skilled apothecary seems very fitting, given um, Clovis's understanding of substances that are good and bad for the body, and we've established in, like, the memory here that Clovis, like, understands her physiology enough to at least have helped her. So it stands to reason that he could probably do that. So that could be fitting. Devil's Footsteps is something that she taught him, so that's irony. We'll leave that alone. Forbidden Lore, I think, is most appropriate here. Palace Evaluator Life as a known efficient slaker is no. I think the knowledge garnered from the thing that should not be will come into effect here. Um, well, if I'm going to describe this as a way that, like, Clovis is going to paralyze Samara and leave her out and just, like, struck in the sun to, like, burn. Oh, fuck, man. Is that how that's gonna go? A way to poison a vampire. I'm gonna file that under Skilled Apothecary. Based on, like, the prior memory work, I think it's reasonable that Clovis would know how to um, poison a vampire. Samara comes back to the region and she expresses disdain over who Clovis has become in just such a short time. Because apparently Samara actually cared about that. Clovis becomes concerned that Samara will expose him to, like, hunters or some such, that his glorious ride of profit and blood will come to an end. And so he invites her over for drinks, wink, to talk it over. You know, that disarming smile that he has and the prior rapport with this person that, you know, there's a mutual respect there, shows. And he poisons her. Which probably isn't enough to ensure that she'll die outright, because he isn't for certain, because he's never poisoned a vampire anymore. So he chains her outside, her poisoned body, writhing in agony under the chains, to be hit by the sun and burned to ash. Holy fuck? Okay. Yeah. She's fucking dead. Fucking murdered. Alright. So we're gonna cross off. We'll check. Skilled Apothecary. She's crossed out. And we're just gonna go ahead and cross off Willie with this prompt as well. Just due to the passage of time, I did not mean to do that. I am sorry. Apology to myself. We'll move Willie down here. Yeah. Woof. Check a skill, kill a character, check a skill. And then I need to put an experience down. But people change over decades. And when Samara expressed disdain over the monster I had become, I poisoned her drink and chained her outside for the sun. Take her. Samara expresses disdain. I poison her drink and chain her outside for the sun to take her. There we go. That's a complete memory. Three experiences. That is it for that prompt, right? You murder someone you love or respect rather than you let them expose you. Kill a character, check a skill if you have no living characters, kill no one created by a character you betrayed. Alright. It's pretty fucking bleak. We've actually checked skills now. We've checked two. And we've got some resource to show for it. I am down to one character. I've killed my sire. Clovis has, not me. Totally not me. I'm not responsible for this. Our memories now I'm Clovis Ravenor, an English physician and alchemist residing in the court of Lord Edmund Grey, Earl of Kent. That's remained there. A constant thing, unchanging. Upon graduation, Father Francis embraces me, tears falling down his florid cheeks. I am proud of the man you are now. Years later, the elderly father calls upon me and asks me to help William learn my craft. Old Willie becomes an inseparable part of my new lifestyle, and his progeny are bound to me by my ritual of blood. Hasn't changed at all. That was complete last time. Samara's skin was pallid, her eyes milky, and her coin non-existent. Yet I welcome her into my home at the dead of night and tend to her maladies. I could not fathom a week later how she catapulted from bed and put her lips to my neck. In the following months, the Moroccan exile shows me how to move as she does, with feats of athletics that verge on the superhuman. But people change over decades, and when Samara expresses disdain over the monster I had become, I poison her drink and chain her outside for the sun to take her. A bizarre amalgam of magic and science arrives at my doorstep seeking aid, provide what succor I can, and it teaches me what I should never know in exchange. I later discover how to unravel the amalgam and blackmail it to ensure my silence. And blackmail it for my silence. I begin selling the cadavers of my patients to institutions, clubs, and other interested parties. I am paid in gold for my efforts. Forgotten now, we have a rejuvenated Lord Grey, thanks me for my expert treatment of wounds suffered in Aquitaine, and invites me into his service. And stricken through, I cull the favors from my patients. the failures from my patients, and drink what little remains of their lives. Okay, so we're probably into Henry VIII territory now. Yeah. It's a good thing that I was going to stop here. I'm a little weary, as was noted by my stumbling through words and thoughts. And I need a break to think about what the fuck Clovis has become. That, fucking... fucking... fucking killed someone he loved and respected. Well, alright. That happened. Take care, everyone. Bye.